All right, let's dive in. Today, we're all about effective leadership behaviors.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
And we've got this awesome article by Gary Uckel to guide us.
Oh, he's like the guru of leadership research, right?
Totally. It's from 2012, but honestly, the insights are so timeless, it's crazy.
Yeah. What always gets me is like even with like mountains of research, there's still no magic formula for leadership.
Right. Like you'd think there'd be an app for that by now. Download Leadership Success.
Right.
But it's where Uckel's work is so cool, I think.
Yeah.
He's all about adapting your behavior to the situation.
It's true. It's not one size fits all.
It's like having a leadership toolkit, not a leadership rule book.
I like that. A toolkit.
Right.
But, defining effective leadership,
Yeah.
that's a whole other can of worms.
Oh, tell me about it. Uckel points out that there are so many studies out there, it's overwhelming.
It's true. There are tons.
But they all categorize leadership behavior in different ways, so...
It's like chaos. It makes it really hard to compare findings and actually see the big picture.
It's like everyone's speaking a different language.
Exactly.
And then there's the methods they use.
Oh.
Questionnaires, surveys, all that.
Don't you think those are kind of biased from the get-go?
Oh, totally.
Like they're based on what people already think good leadership is?
Right, right.
Plus, they don't always account for the fact that,
What?
leaders can achieve the same goal in different ways.
Oh, that's true.
Like motivating your team. You could do it through public praise
Or individual coaching.
Right. Both can be effective, but they look different.
Totally.
Yep.
So how do we make sense of all this?
Well, that's where Uckel comes in with his
Uh-huh.
hierarchical taxonomy.
A fancy word for...
Basically, he groups 15 specific leadership behaviors into 4 main categories.
Ooh, okay.
And this is where it gets really useful, I think.
Okay, tell me more.
This model isn't just about managing your direct reports.
Oh, interesting.
It also considers, leading change within your team and navigating those relationships outside your team.
Oh, I see.
So peers, higher-ups, even partners, external folks,
Got it. So it's a much broader view of leadership.
Exactly. It's like 360-degree leadership.
I like that. So this taxonomy isn't just some academic theory then?
No.
It's something we can use.
It's a mental framework we can actually use to analyze and improve our own leadership, which...
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Actionable insights. Okay, I'm hooked. Break it down for me.
All right, so those 4 meta-categories, we've got task-oriented, relations-oriented, change-oriented,
Okay, I don't
and
play.
external. We're going to unpack each one, exploring those 15 behaviors, and we'll even look at how they can go wrong. Because trust me, even the best intentions...
Can backfire.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in leadership.
I can only imagine. Okay, hit me with the first one. Task-oriented. Sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's all about
Getting things done.
efficiency, reliability.
The nuts and bolts, right.
Yeah. Think of it as building a strong foundation for your team. Okay, I like that.
You need that solid groundwork to support everything else.
Makes sense.
So, under task-oriented leadership, Uckel identifies 4 key behaviors:
Hit me.
planning, clarifying, monitoring, and problem-solving.
Okay, planning. That's
What?
setting goals, making timelines, allocating resources, all that jazz.
Exactly, like a project manager mapping out a product launch.
Exactly. But I guess even with planning, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it.
Oh, for sure. A vague plan, or a plan that's just
Oh.
unrealistic, that's more harmful than helpful.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like having a map that leads you in circles.
Totally. Actually, I was leading a team project once, and we rushed the planning stage.
Oh, no.
We were so eager to get started, big mistake.
What happened?
We missed deadlines left and right, had to scramble to catch up.
Ugh, the worst.
It's a total disaster.
So planning is key.
Lesson learned.
All right, next up is clarifying. This is all about making sure everyone on the team understands their roles.
Right. Goals, deadlines, all that.
Exactly. Clear communication is the most important thing here.
So, for example, in a software development team,
Yeah.
the lead clearly defines each developer's role, sets coding standards, communicates deadlines,
Yep.
keeps everyone on the same page.
But there's a danger here too, right?
Oh, yeah. When does clarifying become micromanaging?
The eternal struggle.
Right.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
When clarifying turns into dictating every tiny detail.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
You end up stifling creativity.
And autonomy. People need to feel empowered.
You got it.
So clear direction, but not controlling.
Exactly.
Okay, what else is under task-oriented?
Monitoring.
Uh-oh. Sounds a little Big Brother-ish.
I know, right?
But I'm listening.
It's not about spying on your team. It's more about, keeping a pulse on their progress, making sure things are moving along.
So like a sales manager,
Yeah.
Maybe checking the reports, observing a few sales calls just to get a sense of how the team's doing.
Exactly. But the key
Oh,
is
yeah.
to be transparent.
Oh, good point.
Your team needs to know why you're monitoring and what you're looking at.
And it should be framed as support, not just...
Scrutiny. Like
Yeah.
if someone's struggling,
Yeah.
offer help. Don't just
Right,
criticize.
right. Support, not surveillance. Makes sense.
Okay, last one for task-oriented
Right.
problem solving.
This is where leaders really earn their stripes, right?
Totally. When something unexpected happens.
Oh, yeah. Equipment malfunctions, budget cuts, all the fun stuff.
All those curveballs. A decisive leader can
Quickly assess the situation, take charge.
exactly
Yeah.
gather input if needed, then take action.
But there's a danger here too, right?
Oh, for sure. Jumping to conclusions or ignoring the root cause of the problem.
Ooh, that's bad.
Yeah, that can lead to some pretty disastrous solutions.
So it's about being proactive,
And thoughtful.
think things through, but don't get stuck in analysis paralysis.
You nailed it. And there's actually a lot of research to back this up.
Yeah.
Yukel found a strong link between effective problem solving and
Right.
team performance. Like in one study, managers rated highly on problem solving skills.
Yeah.
Consistently had higher performing teams.
Nice.
So it's not just a coincidence. Problem solving matters.
Okay, so task-oriented behaviors, it's
Yeah.
all about setting that strong foundation.
Exactly.
But leadership is more than just like,
Checking boxes.
right, getting things done is important, but we can't forget about the human side of it all.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our next meta category, relations-oriented behaviors.
Okay, bring on the human element.
Welcome back. We've been talking about those task-oriented leadership behaviors, you know.
Yeah, getting things done, the foundation.
Exactly.
But now it's time for the human touch, right?
All right. Relations-oriented behaviors. This is where we acknowledge that
Right.
teams are made up of people, individuals.
Yeah, with their own,
Strengths, weaknesses, goals, the whole shebang.
it's about more than just like delegating tasks.
Oh, absolutely. It's about nurturing that human capital.
I love that phrase, nurturing human capital.
Yeah.
It just sounds so much more, I don't know, holistic than just managing people,
It is. It's about seeing your team members as
Yeah.
whole people, not just cogs in a machine.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? What are the specific behaviors?
Well, Yuckel identifies 4 key behaviors under relations-oriented leadership:
Let's hear 'em.
supporting, developing, recognizing, and empowering.
Okay, supporting. I feel like I have a sense of what that means, but
Yeah.
what's the official definition?
It's about showing genuine care and concern for your team members,
Okay.
both professionally and personally.
So like a manager who takes the time to listen when an employee's going through something tough.
Yes.
Or offers encouragement during a challenging project.
Exactly. It's about creating that
What's the word?
psychologically safe environment where people feel comfortable being vulnerable.
Oh, that's so important.
But here's a question for you.
It's me.
How much support is too much support?
Ooh, that's a good one. I've seen it happen where leaders try to shield their team members from any challenges
Or
or
they avoid giving tough feedback.
because they don't want to hurt feelings.
Right. But that can backfire.
Big time.
What happens in those situations, do you think?
Well, people don't grow. They don't learn to take ownership.
Right.
And ultimately, it hurts the team's performance.
Exactly. So it's about finding that sweet spot, being supportive,
Yeah.
but also allowing people to face those challenges.
Learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. What about developing? What does that look like in action?
Developing is all about investing in your team's growth, helping them reach their full potential.
So a leader who
Yeah.
actively seeks out training opportunities for their team,
Yes.
provides regular feedback and coaching,
That's it.
maybe even mentors them on their career path, really takes an interest.
Exactly. It's a long-term investment, not just a
What's the word?
quick fix.
Right, it's about playing the long game.
You got it. Seeing their potential and helping them unlock it.
And that benefits everyone, right?
Exactly. The individual grows, the organization gets stronger.
Win-win. Okay, I'm on board with developing. What else have we got?
Recognizing.
Okay, yeah.
This one is so powerful, but people often underestimate it.
Oh, I don't know. I think we all crave recognition.
It's true.
To know our work is valued.
Absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
more than just feel-good vibes,
What do you mean?
Recognition, when done right,
Yeah.
it can be a huge motivator.
Oh, that's true.
It boosts morale and encourages people to go the extra mile.
It creates a sense of pride.
Yeah. So how do we do it right? What makes recognition truly effective?
I'm all ears.
It has to be specific, timely, and genuine. Don't just say, good job.
Yeah, good job is so generic.
It is. Instead, highlight a specific action or achievement you appreciate.
Oh, I see. Like, I really appreciate how you handled that difficult client. You stayed calm, professional, and you found a creative solution.
Specific example.
That's way more impactful than just like...
A pat on the back.
Exactly.
And timing matters too.
Oh, how so?
Recognize someone immediately after they do something great.
Okay.
That's much more powerful than waiting weeks or months to mention it.
It shows you're paying attention.
Exactly. You're present, you value their contributions.
That's specific, timely, genuine. Got it.
Yeah.
But can you overdo it? Like,
No.
could you give too much recognition?
That's an interesting question. I think you can definitely dilute the impact
Oh, yeah.
if you're constantly praising every little thing.
It loses its meaning.
Exactly. Like if you're handing out trophies for showing up on time.
Uh-huh. Right. No one feels special then.
And even worse, if you only recognize the same people over and over.
Ooh, that creates resentment.
For sure. So make sure it's fairly distributed, reflecting genuine contributions.
Okay, so be thoughtful, be intentional.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, last one for relations-oriented leadership. Ooh, this is a big one.
It is.
And honestly, one that I've struggled with.
Really? How so?
I can be a bit of a control freak, you know?
Ah,
Wanting things done my way,
I hear you.
but I'm learning to let go.
Because
empowering others is way more effective in the long run.
it is. It's a common struggle for leaders, you know?
Yes.
Especially those used to being in charge.
It's hard to give up control.
It can be.
Right.
But think about it this way.
Go.
When you empower your team,
Yeah,
you free up your own time and energy.
true.
But you also tap into their creativity, their problem-solving skills.
Oh, yeah, they're unique perspectives.
Exactly. It's about shifting from that
What's the phrase?
do as I say approach.
Yeah, so old school.
It is. To a more collaborative, let's figure this out together kind of vibe.
I like that. But like with everything else, there's a balance.
Always a balance. You don't want to just throw people into the deep end.
No, without support,
Exactly. Set clear expectations, provide resources,
be available for guidance.
and most importantly,
Right.
trust your team. Don't second guess them constantly or,
Micromanage.
Yeah. That defeats the whole purpose of empowering them.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
So we've covered task-oriented behaviors,
The foundation.
relations-oriented, all about the human element.
Nurturing that human capital.
Right. What's next on our leadership journey?
Time to embrace a little chaos, I think.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Change-oriented behaviors. The world is changing so fast these days.
If you're not comfortable with change, you're in trouble.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
So change-oriented leadership, it's all about embracing innovation, driving progress, adapting.
It's about being okay with a little bit of controlled chaos.
I like that. Controlled chaos. It's a good way to put it.
So how do we, as leaders, navigate this, like, constant change?
Well, UCLA identifies 4 key change-oriented behaviors.
Hit me.
Advocating change, envisioning change, encouraging innovation, and
Following.
facilitating collective learning.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay, advocating change. That sounds like, I don't know, like
Okay.
you're trying to sell something,
In a way, you are. You have to convince people that change is necessary,
even when it's uncomfortable.
even when it's disruptive.
Yeah.
And that can be tough, you know?
Oh, yeah, people don't like change.
They cling to the familiar.
It's scary.
So you have to articulate the benefits of change,
Okay.
the risks of staying the same, and then paint a picture of a better future.
So it's not just, hey, we need to change,
No, it's about showing them why.
and what we stand to gain.
Exactly. And that brings us to envisioning change.
Okay, what's that all about?
It's about creating a compelling vision of the future.
So, like,
What?
a leader who can really paint a picture of what things could look like.
Yeah.
A future where the team is thriving,
Yeah.
achieving goals.
Making a real impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it can't just be, like, empty promises.
Oh, absolutely not. It has to be believable.
Right, grounded in reality.
Think about Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech.
Oh, yeah, powerful stuff.
He was a master of envisioning change.
It wasn't just a list of policy changes. It was a
Although-
vision of a better world that people could connect with emotionally.
Exactly. That's what makes envisioning change so powerful. It taps into people's emotions, values, hopes,
Gives them something to believe in.
gives them something to strive for. But here's the thing.
Right.
What if the vision is based on,
Bad assumptions.
or wishful thinking?
Oh, that's a danger for sure. What if the leader gets so caught up in their own hype?
And loses touch with reality.
Yeah, that's how things go off the rails.
It is. So it's about balancing that passion for a change.
With a bit of realism.
Yes. And critical thinking. You need to assess the risks.
Anticipate challenges.
And be willing to adjust course if needed.
So be agile, be adaptable, learn from mistakes.
You got it. Okay, moving on. Encouraging innovation. This is about fostering a culture where creativity can flourish.
Ooh, I like that.
And risk-taking is rewarded, not punished.
That's so important. I mean, I love brainstorming new ideas.
Yeah.
Trying new things, challenging the status quo.
That's the spirit. But it takes the right mindset,
Totally.
both from the leader and the team. You have to create a safe space for sharing ideas.
Oh, yeah, even the crazy ones.
Especially the crazy ones. You have to be willing to experiment.
Yeah, to fail sometimes.
And most importantly, to learn from those failures.
It's about shifting from a culture of fear to a culture of experimentation, where mistakes are seen as opportunities.
Yes. Think about companies like Google, Amazon.
They're known for being innovative.
They encourage their employees to take risks, to think differently.
And they're constantly testing new things, pivoting when something's not working.
It's a very different approach than the,
We've always done it this way,
and
mentality.
Exactly. The old school approach just doesn't cut it anymore.
So it's about mindset, culture, and having the right processes in place.
To actually implement those ideas, speed, agility, all that.
Wow, so much to think about.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the final behavior under change-oriented?
Facilitating collective learning.
Learning is key.
It is. This is about making sure the team learns from its experiences, both good and bad.
So like transforming individual experiences into shared knowledge.
Exactly. A culture of continuous learning.
I like that. So for example, a project team that does regular after-action reviews.
Yes.
Analyzing what went well, what could be improved.
That's about creating a feedback loop, constantly refining the approach.
And a culture where people feel comfortable sharing their knowledge.
Mentoring, supporting each other.
Building a learning organization.
That's the goal. So we've covered task-oriented, relations-oriented.
Change-oriented, wow.
We've come a long way.
We have. What's left? What's the final frontier?
Let's step outside the boundaries of the team.
Okay.
And explore those external behaviors.
This is where we really zoom out, right?
Exactly. It's about how leaders navigate that bigger landscape. The organization, external partners, the whole industry even.
Ooh, expanding our horizons. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've been exploring all those essential leadership behaviors,
Yeah, from getting stuff done to building those relationships.
Embracing change. It's been a lot.
It has. But now we're stepping outside the team bubble.
Okay, yeah.
Looking at how leaders operate in that bigger world,
Zooming out.
Exactly. The organization, partners, the whole industry.
Okay, so what are these, what do we call them?
External behaviors, I think.
Right, external behaviors. What are those all about?
Well, UCL focuses on three: networking, external monitoring, and representing.
Networking. Ugh. That word just makes me think of awkward cocktail parties, forced small talk.
I know, right?
Is it all just about using people to get ahead?
That's not what we're talking about at all.
Okay, good.
Effective networking. It's about building genuine relationships.
Okay.
Relationships that benefit both sides.
So it's more about, what? Building a network.
Oh.
Trusted advisors, mentors.
Yeah, people who can support you, open doors for you, offer insights,
Okay, so less schmoozing, more authentic connection building.
Exactly.
But how do you actually do that? I'm not exactly the most outgoing person.
You don't have to be the life of the party. It's just about being genuinely interested in people.
Okay.
Listening to their stories, finding that common ground.
Okay, yeah. Where would I even start?
Well, you could start within your own organization,
Yeah.
Reach out to someone in a different department, maybe.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Someone whose work you admire.
Actually, I met someone at a company event a while back.
Yeah.
Leading a really cool project. I should reach out to them.
There you go. And, industry events, professional organizations.
Yeah.
Those are great ways to meet people outside your usual circle.
Okay, so expand your network, but be strategic about it.
Yeah, and be mindful of the time you're spending on external relationships versus
your own team.
Exactly. Don't neglect your own people.
Right. That makes sense.
And you don't want to seem like you're more interested in climbing the ladder than
supporting your team.
Right.
Okay, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Be intentional with your networking. What's next?
external monitoring. This one's all about keeping an eye on what's happening outside your organization. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, industry trends, new tech, competitors,
Exactly, like being a scout for your team.
spotting those threats and
I
opportunities.
like that.
I bet this is super important in those fast-paced industries.
Oh, absolutely. Think about tech. Things are changing constantly.
Yeah.
If you're not paying attention to the outside world,
What happens?
the competition will eat you alive.
Yikes. Okay, so how do you stay ahead of the curve?
Be hungry for information. Read industry publications, go to conferences.
Talk to your network, all that.
Exactly. Anything to keep you in the loop.
So be curious, be proactive.
Always seeking out new information.
But it's not just about gathering info, right? You have to make sense of it all.
Oh, absolutely. Connect the dots, see the patterns.
Figure out what it means for your team.
Yeah, like if there's a trend toward automation in your industry,
Yeah.
you need to be thinking about how that will affect your team's roles.
Start planning for the future.
Exactly. Effective leaders are always thinking one step ahead.
All right, so anticipate those challenges and opportunities.
That's it.
Okay, I'm with you. What's the last one? Representing, right?
Yep. This is about being the spokesperson, the ambassador for your team.
Both inside and outside the organization.
Exactly. Building that positive reputation.
Showcasing accomplishments, advocating for the team's needs.
It's a combination of diplomacy.
And advocacy, yeah.
You got it.
So, like a leader who presents their team's work to senior management,
Yes.
negotiates for resources, builds relationships with partners.
That's a great picture. And remember, representing is not just about talking the talk.
Oh, right.
You got to walk the walk, too.
Actions speak louder than words.
Exactly. So build a culture of excellence within your team,
Make sure everyone's living up to those high standards.
aligning your actions with your message.
Okay, so much to consider.
It is a lot.
We've covered so much in this deep dive, all those different leadership behaviors.
From managing tasks to building relationships.
Embracing change, representing our teams. Wow.
If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that effective leadership.
Why?
It's not about finding that one perfect style.
Oh, I see.
It's about adapting.
To the situation, the team, the environment.
You got it.
It's like having a toolkit and knowing which tool to use.
Exactly.
And it's about never stopping learning and growing as a leader.
That's so true. The journey never ends.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
what's one question our listeners should be asking themselves?
Good question. I think the most important one is, knowing all this, what's one small change you can make in your own leadership this week?
Ooh, I like that. It's about taking action.
Exactly. Knowledge is only powerful when we apply it.
That's a great point. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into effective leadership behaviors. We hope you found it insightful, and until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading.